Hey guys, this lesson is direct instruction for the worksheet immediately following chapter 20 that you'll begin at the beginning of class. You should have actually picked up the worksheet from the bellwork tray if the bellwork tray exists. The only reason you should be watching this video is that unfortunately I cannot be in school today, or unfortunately you cannot be in school for this. Or you're not one of my students and your teacher is making you watch this. If that's the case and you're the teacher, please remember to subscribe. All right, moving on. That's the first time I've said that, but I'm building those subscribers, so keep coming. All right, so what we have, you have a worksheet that you have picked up from hopefully the bellwork tray, and it says chapter 20 entry task. We just finished chapter 20, and this quote that we're taking a look at is at the end of the first time we stopped. And we'll take a look at this in just a second. I want to point out that you need to fill out the heading, first and last name, class period, today's date. The directions first tell you to use your reader's notes from chapter 20 to answer the questions below. I'm not actually sure we have our reader's notes as you would think of them. I think in chapter 20, we focused just on this chart, and I'm not sure how much that chart is really going to help you. So really what I'm going to be asking you to do is look back in the book. And I do give you page numbers for both books, both the black book, and I call the other one the orange book, which is, I guess the side is orange. Okay, the front is kind of gray. So this is our typical bellwork assignment. It may take you more than 5 minutes. And if the teacher is in the room, if students are still writing, give them the time. Typically, about 10 minutes is the most that I want to allow on this. Let's take a look at it together. You see the first question. That's true. And having you here with me over the past year has made me realize that things must change. For years, I felt that they should, but it seemed so hopeless. Now, for the first time, I think there might be a way, the giver said slowly, and you brought it to my attention barely, I glanced at the clock, 2 hours ago. Okay, so that was right at the top of page 155, right before the break, and in the other book, 193, and I don't have that one as handy, but I believe it is also right before a break. I am checking for understanding here. I'm monitoring that you understand what this means. Explain this quote. So you tell me in your words, what does the giver mean? What does the giver mean must change? Why was it so hopeless before? And what did Jonas bring to his attention? This is the front side of the page, and I do not want you to turn to the back side until the teacher says that bell work time is up. So when you finish writing your answer to this, you're just going to put your pen and pencil down and look up and wait for the teacher. I want to point out that this is not a specific structured answer. I'm not looking for your topic sentence. I am not looking for your text support. This is your thinking. Okay? I want to know your thought process and how well you understand this. So just write. All right, I'm going to stop talking. Somebody's going to hit pause on the video if we're in the classroom while you work on that worksheet. And then when you're ready, everyone has finished and we're going to turn to the back side. Then you can hit play again. All right, so pause. And we're back. Hopefully you paused with me looking decent. Usually we pause and I'm like, hopefully that's not how you paused. All right, so we're back. Let's flip to the back side. And I'm not sure how we are arranged in the classroom, but I'm hoping that I was able to put you in partners. If not, I'm going to ask that the teacher has you partner up with somebody nearby. We are not getting up and going and finding our best friend across the room. We're going to just push desks together if we're not already in pairs. And hopefully it is somebody that you can work easily with. And if not, let's figure it out. You should be able to work with anybody. Be kind. All right, let's flip to the back side. And we see a chart. Okay, so we see these are text-dependent questions because they are based on the text. But unlike our other text-dependent questions where I expected you to give me a topic sentence and support your answer, I am just looking for your evidence. Okay, so you are looking for how can I answer this based on the information provided in the text. There are 4 questions. I'm going to go through them just kind of briefly, and hopefully if you have a question on what the question is, you can clarify understanding before we break off. That's a little hard to do in a video, and I'm not sure if a substitute's going to be able to answer your questions. But if you are still wondering something and you're like, I don't know what this is, I would encourage you to still ask it because perhaps a classmate or your partner can clarify that for you. All right, question 1, but don't ask for the answers. That's what you and your partner are going to talk about. What about the community makes the giver think Jonah should leave? You're going to look in your book. You're going to look into chapter 20 or earlier. So that might be when you want to go back to other chapter or reader's notes. Those are our chapter notes, and decide what is it that makes them want to change or leave. Don't answer the question just yet. Talk. And then write your answer down with your partner as clearly as you can. Prefer at least a complete sentence, but it doesn't have to be specifically formatted. Question 2, and here's our quote. The giver says, if you get away, if you get beyond, if you get to elsewhere, I don't know why I finger quote that. It's just a different place, right? It will mean that the community, I think there's a typo, has to bear the burden themselves of the memories you had been holding for them. And it tells you that this is on page 155 in the black book or 194 in the orange book. And it is important that you go there, look at what comes before, look at what comes after, and then discuss with your partner, what does the giver think will happen to the community if Jonas leaves? Now, there's a great big box there because of that quote. It's probably a pretty simple answer, but make sure that it's clear in what you're putting there. Question 3. On page 156 in your black book or 195 in your orange book, Jonas responds, it's no use. They'll find someone to take my place. They'll choose a new receiver. Now you've got to do some thinking. Is this likely to happen? Why or why not? Now, remember, these are text-based questions. So go to page 156 or 195 and look at, because they do discuss it. And then based on what they discuss, is it likely to happen or not? Okay. I'm monitoring that you understand the meaning here. Okay. So there is sort of a right answer. Number 4 is the hardest question for students usually. What does all of this mean? What will happen? I'm asking you to synthesize all of this together. Take all of the pieces, everything that you've learned, all of this knowledge and schema that you have built up to this point, and figure out, what does it all mean? We're getting to the whole point of the book. What does it all mean? And what might happen either way? Hopefully you haven't finished the book to know the answer as far as what is going to happen, but what could happen either way, because we are looking at both sides right now. And then pretty soon we're going to very quickly finish the last 3 chapters of the book. But what does it all mean? What is the point? What is the purpose as we look at all of these things together? All right, that's it. Video's done. You and your partner are working together, writing out answers, giving those worksheets to the teacher in the room when you are finished. And I'm not sure what is on the rest of the lesson, but maybe we're ready to tackle the end of the book, or maybe chapters 16 through 20 quiz. I can't remember what's on the agenda, and it might be changing from group to group, but make sure you know what the next step is. And have a great day. I hope I see you in person soon.